My name is Hannah Gay, and I'd like to present today on the European Union. This is for the class of the EIU Senior Seminar 4113G. First is an introduction what the EU is. The EU is an economic and political partnership between 28 different European countries. Today I want to cover a range of topics, including the symbols of the EU, its countries and languages, as well as the currency, the education, families and their rights, fundamental rights, health policies, and the culture of the EU and member states. First of all, the symbols of the EU, which may be more familiarized by the flag. This flag has the 12 stars, as we see in this picture. But I would like to begin with the anthem. This anthem has no words. It's a lyricless anthem which embodies the spirit of the EU and the spirit of having a united in diversity, where they do not particularly use one language to classify the entire EU. Then the flag, as I mentioned earlier, is a blue flag, and it has 12 yellow stars on it. These symbolize the ideas of unity, solidarity, and harmony among the peoples of Europe. These stars remain constant regardless of countries that leave or come into the EU. And finally, it's the motto, the one that I referred earlier, the United University, like its song, the anthem of the EU. The United University motto shows that even though all of them are different, they can all work together, and they can go together to make a better country and a better place in the world of Europe. Then we have member states. These member states I mentioned on the map, as they are gradually becoming blue. Most of them began in Western Europe, like Belgium, France, Italy, and Luxembourg. And later on, they branched off to the north of Germany, Norway, Denmark, Ireland, the UK. And later on, especially after the Iron Curtain fell, we see more of the Eastern European countries coming into the member states as well. This will come in later over here, which is Austria. Well, that was part of the Iron Curtain. But later on, which is Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Malta. And we also have Poland in 2004, Slovakia, Slovenia, Czech Republic, and Hungary. Finally, there's Bulgaria, Romania, and Croatia. And that makes it 28 EU member states as we see today. I wanted to just also put this on the slide, just so someone can see exactly how it goes in. And I want to note that one of my favorite countries of the EU, France, was one of the founding ones in 1958. And then there is the euro. Now the euro is not used where I currently am. Right now I'm in the UK, in Stirling, Scotland, at the university, taking some classes this summer. But the euro is used elsewhere in the UK. Not in the UK, excuse me, but in Europe, such as Germany, France, Spain, Italy, and etc. Now the euro came from the Greek word for that, and Europea is a design they are going to have very soon, but in the past they've used architecture all over Europe for the design for the currency. Right now the euro is released and controlled by the European Central Bank, and it has been launched for over 13 years ago, so it has quite a strong hold in the country. I wanted to note the notes of the euro. They begin at the €5 and they go all the way up to the 500 euro, and as they go up in denomination or amount, they also grow up in size. There's also the coins, and the coins begin at a 1 pence or €1 coin, and it goes up to €2, and that's almost like a $2. So it's very interesting how they have those $1 and $2 or €1 and €2 instead of us where we have the bills. Finally, also with the coins, I wanted to mention that the front side bears a universally same image, and the back side bears an image for its own country. So the coins themselves embody the United University motto of the EU. All right, here's languages. Now the EU uses very many different languages. It has 24 official languages, and I imagine there may be more. They may add in the Irish language, for example, later on. For use all these languages, they have over 1,700 linguists. They also have almost 4,000 interpreters and many other support staff to work with them to make sure that documents are compiled correctly, as well as concerns of the citizens are addressed in their own native tongue. They also support multilingualism. They believe it's very important in the EU to protect the diversity in languages, as well as to promote language learning, especially in children. Children are taught at a very young age to learn a second or a third new language. And according to a survey, 98% of European citizens said that mastering foreign languages will benefit their children, and that's what they're doing right now. All right, I'm talking about education and learning languages. Education in the EU is strongly supported by a program called EIU. And in this program, they assist or supplement each member country in its education to make sure it has high standards and helps the children in their country. Now they have a huge budget of 14.7 billion euros over the next 6 years, so it's 2014 to 2020 where they're doing this. And they're helping over 4 million youths, and they're working with many organizations to reach these youths in different countries. One of these things that I was studying was in the UK. The World Miss also works on a university or collegiate level where many people who cannot afford to study abroad can now study abroad. And what's really neat about this is they're able to go and study abroad and learn different languages too, which also helps with the United University motto of the EU and their languages goal in order to make people more multilingual in the EU as well. All right. Next is families and their rights in the EU. Quite a diverse family here, it looks like. And I wanted to first begin with children's rights. Now, children's rights are all centered on their best interest. For example, they believe that it's in the best interest to have a right to a personal relationship with both their parents and have direct contact with them here. It's also that they look to see what the best place of residence would be in case there was divorce in the family and the children have to go with one parent or the other. The final thing they mentioned is the right to speak freely and have a choice. The child's old enough to make some decisions in the area. The children do have a lot of rights, and they seem to have a high respect and high concern for them in the EU. This also continues for couples' rights. I noticed there was 3 different rights for couples, or 3 different categories a couple could fall in. With the category of marriage, this is a legal status that all countries generally accept and have similar legal rules to. Going down from marriage, there's registered partnerships. Now, some countries do offer this, and so sometimes in some countries you may have almost the same rights as a married couple, such as with moving or taxes or property taxes. And then the final category is unmarried couples here, and this one was a lot more vague. It was difficult to ascertain how you would prove if you were an unmarried couple, and how you would prove that you've been together for a long time, or that you were going to plan to stay together for a long time, I suppose, too. And so I know that with one difficulty with same-sex couples, sometimes they have difficulty being in the marriage category. I know only a few countries do offer that. And so if they try to be a registered partnership or a married couple, they encounter a lot less rights and a lot less freedom when they try to move from one country to the next. All right. Then here's fundamental rights, and this applies to every person, regardless of their nationality and their part in the EU. And here's a video.
The European Union is constantly evolving. In 2000, Europeans took a great step forward. Their main fundamental rights were strengthened and brought together. 1. Dignity. Europeans have the right to life, but torture, slavery, and other inhuman treatments are prohibited. 2. Freedom. A European has the right to marry and to found a family. He also has the right to education and to work. He can also choose his religion and express himself freely. 3. Equality. All Europeans are equal, whatever their culture, sex, age, or even their difference. 4. Solidarity. Workers have the right to fair and just working conditions. They may also express themselves, either through negotiation or collective action. 5. Citizens' rights. Europeans have the right to vote. They have the right to stand in European Parliament elections and in municipal elections. They may also, for example, move freely within the Union. And finally, justice. Europeans have access to justice. They have the right to express themselves and to defend themselves before an impartial tribunal. These 6 essential rights were set in stone, thanks to the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the European Union. And in 2009, this charter gained the same binding force as the treaties. Within the framework of European legislation, the member states of the Union must respect it.
All right, and that was just a summary of the fundamental rights, but they summarize it very well: the dignity, freedom, equality, solidarity, citizens' rights, and justice. And those were all in the charter that we have read and studied through our class. And they were very particular and specific in what they said. So it looks like they have a very good charter and a very good idea of how to treat the citizens and have their rights upheld in the EU. Going on, I wanted to mention health and the health care that the EU offers. The European Union has many different health policies. Some of the health policies are to prevent disease, promote a healthier lifestyle and well-being, such as maybe programs to combat obesity, smoking, as well as alcohol abuse. We also have to protect people from serious cross-border threats to health and improve access to health care. So they reach healthcare in all parts of the map, whether it's something to do with technology, the healthcare themselves, doctors and nurses that need better education for the healthcare. They reach every part of the healthcare to provide the best for the citizens. Here, and actually I have seen one of these cards in person now here in Scotland, but it's every EU member who has one of these cards, and it's called a European Health Insurance Card. And wherever they are in the EU, if they end up having an accident or falling ill, and they need to go to hospital or get medicine, they can go and use this card and be treated as a citizen of one of the countries that they're currently living at. So it is a great relief and I guess security net to Europeans that are traveling that don't feel so well. And it also shows a united university, because no matter what nationality they are, they're all human and we all become ill, we all become hurt. And so it's good that we can all stick up together and help each other out when that happens. All right, finally, this last part is culture. Now in Europe, culture is quite diverse, and through history, some of these cultures have really clashed. So the EU had to put a lot of this together to everybody work together. And I was very impressed with the culture. Their culture expanded from traditional arts, such as painting or drawing, to a culture that's more, well, definitely more new, such as filmmaking. And the EU plays an active role in their funding, their help with research projects for these arts, as well as they make programs and cooperatives with even non-EU programs to work in the arts and promote culture in each region that they're at. This next slide, we're going to have a case study again, and this is on one of the cities that is a city of culture for the year. Right there. One of the authors when they wrote about culture in the EU, it's Jose Manuel Barroso. He said, European capitals of culture are a clear illustration of the EU's commitment to cultural diversity due to their long-term development of European cities, in their region, as well as a source of stimulus for dynamism, creativity, but also social inclusion. And I know with each of these cities, such as Pilsen, which is coming up soon, and this year, 2015, they can bring all the culture together and highlight each culture 1 year at a time in the EU. And there we go. In conclusion, I believe the European Union stands strong as its goal is an economic and political partnership between the 28 member countries. They also cover a broad range of issues, from protecting children's rights to providing a good healthcare system, an education system, to the universal currency they use, the euro that they've used for the past 13 years. They've strived to enhance the lives of all the Europeans in their different regions, and I believe they have done a very good job in doing so. So there's a conclusion for the European Union, and I just want to mention my works cited. If you need to research or look up anything, I included a hyperlink for each website or each video that I have found, so you can verify those and look at those at your leisure. But thank you so much. I hope you have a good day.